We are live. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in. I am Anna Adams and my co-host here, Miss Pamela Carter. We are here for our third episode. I can't believe it's already flying by so quickly.
I know.
Exciting though. We have lots of fun and amazing, exciting things to share. And so we're going to dive in this morning. So this morning, we thought we would talk about the importance of doula training and education, and about our, life planning as a life planning doula, and how that can really help you as a doula in your offerings. Because I think one of the biggest questions we often get is, how can I do this full time? So we are going to get started and dive in to discussing, why is it important to have doula training? What is the hitch, right? Because I like to be honest with everybody, Pam, when I'm talking to potential students, because especially someone who maybe hasn't quite done all their research yet. Yes. I do like to talk to them and tell them, the truth, because I think honesty is the best policy.
Absolutely.
And I always tell everybody, I wish I had someone to tell me these things years and years ago, so that I would have made a better decision. And so, as you know, there's tons of different education options out there. But, one thing that I like to bring up right off the bat is that many people don't understand that doulas are non-governed. So we're not regulated like a nurse or an RN program or an LVN program or a medical assistant program or even a CNA program where you have to take a state test.
Right.
There's nothing of that right now, Exactly. So, I like to kind of start off by just saying that right off the bat, so everybody understands that. And some people, I've been in different groups and things, and I'll hear people say, oh, well, you don't need to go to training. And I'm like, oh, scary, because to me, I feel like and tell me your thoughts too, is that I feel like there's so much more to it than just sitting at bedside when someone's transitioning.
That's the scary part. I don't think people really understand the depth of what we do. I think people think that, oh, you're just sitting there at the bedside holding the person that's leaving's hand and saying calming things. And that's really not. The role of a doula is so much more intense than that. If you're serving the family and the patient or the client, then you're doing multitasking. You may not literally be the one sitting at the bedside holding the hand. It may be you encouraging the family members on how they need to be interacting with the person that's passed. We all know that for some reason, death is a scary subject. And it is because it's the unknown. Well, birth's a scary subject, if you ask me, because here's this new life coming into the unknown. But everybody's all excited about that one because we're seeing it come in.
Right.
But when it comes to death, there's so many things that a doula does. I mean, from comforting and setting the atmosphere and bringing a calming presence to that family, helping that patient make sure that they're getting what they need, that, hopefully they've had the opportunity to do some advanced planning and they've got, how they want things to go. They've taken care of all their business affairs, and these precious moments that are left, whether they're weeks or months or just hours, sometimes it's only minutes, are so precious, and not to be concerned about all the other things. And with a well-trained doula, that doula is walking that family and that client, my favorite quote, here we go again, Ram Dass, it says, we're all walking each other home. And that's what we're doing. We're walking our patients through this process. And it is scary when somebody says, to me, it's even scary when they say, I just completed a course, I'm ready to hang my shingle. Well, have you done this? Have you actively practiced this? Have you, within the school and within the class, the students get to practice on one another. And so we have that built into what we do so that they get kind of a feel for what's going on. But it is important training. Gosh, and I've been doing this for 4 years, and I really thought I knew a lot. And I do feel like I know a lot. but I learn more every day. And
Yeah.
with the school and teaching students, we're constantly doing resource work to
Mhm.
bring new information to the table. So
Yeah.
I think the training's invaluable.
I think when you do training, the way I think when I looked at everything when starting IDLM was, like I've told the story before, is that, one of the reasons why I started IDLM was because, mentoring other doulas and then seeing that they still weren't getting everything that they needed. And so that's how we've crafted, when I was doing all the research, was looking, of course, what NITA recommended that end of life doula should, training programs should have.
Mm-hmm.
And then also thinking about everything that I worked with other doulas on their questions and what they were looking at. And then I also took time and thought about what did I see when I was out doing crisis care?
Mm-hmm.
What were those things that the families feared the most, or the families had concerns with? And so I took all of those things together, and that's how we have our program today. Of
We
what
have an
we offer.
amazing program.
Thank you. And it is, it's a great way to really dive in. And I want all students to have that well-roundedness of everything. And then not just, coming in and learning what you need to know for as a doula. And mind you, we've had doctors, surgeons, nurses, CNAs, providers, caregivers, corporate America people come in because they've had this calling and take our program, and then going out and being successful, because afterwards we work with our students on business building and how to create their business and how to get their offerings out in their community and how to be successful, because it's so important.
It's so important. And the ongoing education, to me, it's not enough to say, okay, here's your certification, you've done your doula training, go for it. That's one of the things that I love about IDLM. I kind of feel like a parent that shouldn't brag about the kid, but that's okay. I brag anyway. The foundation that you laid and the things that we offer, and we're constantly seeking to bring another opportunity, another chance for learning. Our program isn't, hey, it's set, there it is. Our program is growing. And I mean, we're constantly adding new information. Our instructors are looking for ways to be of more help. We have this amazing community and family that we've built. Can I segue to the amazing community just a minute?
Sure.
Because, talking of sharing, in the movement, we put all these neat posts up, and we have all kinds of things. We've got the book club going on now, where we're going to have authors coming in and speaking to us. And we're not reading Dr. Seuss books. We're reading books that are going to help our students further their education and learn more, and bring in the authors that have written books. One of them we're looking at has set bedside for 3,000 people. So we're bringing in really well-trained people to continue training. And we do this through our movement, which is our family neighborhood. I kind of, when I think of the movement, I think of like going next door and having a cup of tea with somebody, because there's so many things there and so much information. And speaking of information, I'm just going to give you a little tidbit, Anna, because you don't know anything about this, but something amazing hit my email this morning, and I'm going to post it in the movement. It's an opportunity that is a one-time opportunity, and it's going to happen one time, and you miss it, but you don't want to miss it, because it's based on a subject that is so important in today's world and in our movement. It is based on MAID, and it's something that just hit my mailbox not 20 minutes before I came on this morning. So I'm excited. I won't take any more time about that.
Awesome. I can't wait to see.
When we get off, I'm going to post it in the movement. And so I want everybody that belongs to the movement to please be sure they go and check the movement this afternoon, because this post will be up, and I've got a feeling that the offer that's in the post is not going to last long, because once it gets out into the community, people are going to be going, oh my gosh,
And
So,
then everybody's going to take all the slots.
yeah, and that's what we do in the movement. We post all this stuff, so that's why you need to be a part of the movement. And you know, and I guess I should say this too. The movement's not just for our own community. You can join the movement if you're not a member of the IDLM. If you're a member of IDLM, it's part of what we do for you. But if you're not a member of IDLM, you can still come join us. And that information, you should put that link in today so that if people want.
I just put it in the comment section. So if anybody is watching live or coming in on a replay, you can see, just go through the comments and it'll be right there for you. You know, and one of the things I do want to point out too, Pam, when our students of our core doula programs, whether they're students or graduates of our core doula program, they get the lifetime access of this for free.
Yes.
And
lifetime.
That's not just, you know, of course they get your core stuff that we're teaching in class, but then afterwards they get free CE nights that we do, which, you know, have not only IDLM instructors holding them, but guest speakers and guest authors. And I mean, just a world of different information, you know, that they can have at their fingertips. And then they can watch all the past ones too, that they have access to.
It is such a wealth of information. It's mind-boggling what you find there. And it's not, the other thing is it's not stale information. It changes every month. And like you said, they can go back and they can watch replays. You know, they're never going to miss anything that we've ever done because it's all right there. And it's for life, especially for our students, because our students get it for life. It's what we do. It's,
you know, and they get all that. Yeah, they get all of that support. And, you know, not just, like I said, having the, you know, our education, you know, courses that we have in our core program. So I'm going to back up for a second. I'm just going to talk about a little bit about what we cover in there, and then we'll go back into the movement. But in our doula program, we cover Doula 101, which is basically, we talk about patient rights and the good death and death positive. Then we also go in and we talk about the code of ethics and scope of practice of a doula, which is so important because we want all of our doulas leaving IDLM when they're going to start their practice to always be out there and be professional and be a service, you know, to their community. We have also included this year, as we tweaked up our program for this year going forward, is that we've added inclusivity practice LGBTQ+, which one of our instructors comes in and teach Lori. She's amazing. You'll love her. A world of information. This is something very, very, very dear to her heart. And so she teaches about that in our program there. Then we also go in and we get in touch with our own mortality, which I think is so important, because if we're helping others figure out their mortality, we want to make sure that we get in touch with our own. Then we have Aromatherapy Basics, which I felt was really important to add because we had so many doulas that utilize aromatherapy in their practice. And so later on in another episode, you'll get to meet Penny and she'll talk to y'all about aromatherapy. But so she comes in and teaches our basics course that's a part of our doula program. And so there's a lot of great information that you'll learn in there. And then we start talking about the stages of end-of-life care. And then we also have our Harmony Spirit Doula, who comes in and teaches self-care for the caretakers, which is amazing. And a lot of great information that you can use, whether it's for yourself, or if it's for yourself or for your clients. So, you know, then we have, let's see, our obituaries and eulogies. We have an actual full module where our grief doula program creator and instructor, Lindy, comes in and teaches coping with grief and loss so that we know how to help our clients. Which I also like to mention there, that's where, you know, we also now have our grief doula group with Lindy every third Friday of the month, that, you know, all of our community members get the access into that, so that we're providing them support for their own grief and loss. Then we talk about common diseases, infection control, PPE. Our next module is our PD hospice and parent loss module. That module is a whole class setting. We don't just talk about it briefly. It is a dive in deep discussion that we go into and learning that we go into in that module. Then we'll talk about our companion doula, communication, teledoula, patient documentation, record keeping, home wakes, cremations, funeral, green options, celebrations and ceremonies. And we've been, just really amazingly lucky that we have Spirit Vessel that also comes in and helps with our celebrations and ceremonies. We have life planning where you come in and teach, set down that foundation of life planning. Then we have our legacy work intensive with Carrie Lynn. We talk about end of life religions. And then we do class presentations because we require all of our students to do case studies. Which is, we just had case studies this weekend, and oh my gosh, were they not amazing?
Amazing. I mean, the depth.
Everybody.
The thing that's exciting about case studies to me is when we get to see the case studies, we actually get to see people in action practicing what they've learned and seeing how well they've picked up everything. We get to see the professionalism and the depth of understanding. I mean, when you come to the case studies, if you're lucky enough, and thank goodness I get to sit in on them, I need a box of Kleenex because I mean, they get in there and do the work, and it is an emotional time.
It is. Oh my gosh, we had so many emotional times this weekend, and just seeing those, I always tell everybody, the students get this aha moment as they're working through, and they're like, wow, I feel so much more better prepared doing this case study. And I mean, it's a detailed case study. They record it, they submit it in, they work the cases and how many of them said this weekend, I really felt like the case study of the patient that I was working with was like my patient of my own.
Yes.
It's just amazing. So we do that as well. And then we also will cover how to present in your community. And then, and so we want to make sure that that's included because I feel it's, social media, like I always say, is great, but we need to be in our community. We need to be educating our community about all these things that we have going, what a doula can do and how we can help, and that we're not just at the end of life. We can actually come in sooner than that. We give our students a free NEDA prep, although a lot of our students tell me, Anna, as long as you go through, either if you're on self-paced, do all the recordings or come to the live course classes, I really don't even need it. I go and I take it. I don't even need all the time. And we've had great responses. And then we give all of our students, of course, a business 101, which is about 7 modules with workbooks and great resources to help you get your business going. So it's super, super exciting to go through that. And then we have our graduation. One thing I do want to say that self-paced students, if you cannot join in on one of our live offerings, we have our self-pays. And our self-pays, even if you are going through a module and you say, you call me or Pam up and say, hey, you know what, I really want to come in and do this, see this module live. We send you the link. You can come in live at any time throughout the year. I mean, we're very, very flexible in our timing of whatever we can do to help you be successful, we're going to do it. So yeah, we do have an offering coming up. We do have a course coming up that will be starting on May 14th. Yeah, May 14th that we'll have. So I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the box here. And I will say this class is going to be a 4-day class. So it's going to be 2 weekends where we sit in and we work together and go through all of our training over those 2 weekends. And so it will be all day long for the most part, but we'll start about 9 Central and then end, anywhere between 5 and 6 Central. But getting everything done over 2 weekends instead of 15 weeks. But just because you're doing it that way does not mean you don't get the support, because you still are going to get
all there.
Everything. You still get the workbooks, you still get the all the resources that we give our 15-week students.
And Anna, it's live too, just like our class. This is not, going to be a webinar or whatever. It's live. That's one of the things that I really, really, really personally appreciate about the classes that we do. They're live. So the students can actually ask questions. I mean, we have a moderator in the classroom, and somebody is watching those questions come in, and the teacher that's doing the teaching has the moderator go, hey Pam, wait a minute, so and so really didn't understand, or they've got a question about. So you don't have to wait to get your answers when you're taking the class either. Teachers are there and ready to be receptive and help you in that moment. So you don't have to go away from class thinking, I really need to write an email about this. Hopefully you put your hand up, which is all that's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just join in. We have one of our students actually on live with us here in our comments. Hi, Patrice. Thank you for joining in. I'm so happy to have you here with us. And yeah, so we go through these deep conversations. We go through, everything that we need to, and we want our students to feel supported. And that's why we have the movement. So then, throughout the program and throughout your time, and even if you sign up, I always tell students too, even if you sign up early, you get that free access to the community. So you can start coming in and joining in on our family nights and joining in on Grief Group with Lindy or Death Talk with Lindy, our book club that we have coming out. Do you want to share a little bit about that and how they can access that information?
Well, the book club is in the movement, and I'm really excited. We're going to do the Map of Memory Lane, which is an amazing book that was written by Francisca. I cannot get that name spit out, Francisca Arnold. But and I'm talking with her about coming in and doing a CE night for us, which will be for those that do the book club. It's a phenomenal tool to use if you're working with a family and you've got a child that is fixing to lose mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, whoever they're losing, to teach them how they'll still be able to connect with that person. And it's an amazing little journey. But the book club, I've got so many authors that I'm talking to tie their books in and do. And then we've got an extensive one that I'm looking at doing after the first of the year that'll actually be a book that'll make you think about your own mortality a little deeper. And it would be a year-long study. And I've had everybody that I've presented it to go, let's do it. So I got to get that information up in the book club too. But yeah, the book club is amazing. I can't wait to get started. And we have our first meeting for the book club this coming Friday night. So we're going to get together and talk about the book. And then next month we'll get together again, and everybody that's had a chance to read it, and we'll have an open discussion, discuss it. Hopefully we'll have Francisca join us at that time.
Well, and again, that's all in the movement. The link is in the comments, and you can join and pay $25 a month, and you gain access. I mean, right now, matter of fact, we have free access to our Doula Mentors program. So, that's 3 or 4 times that we're meeting. We've got other trainings that we have going on. CE this weekend, we're going to be doing a CE training on dementia with Marianne, who's coming in. She's amazing. I can't wait to have her come and join us here. But she is just, this is her field. She's got, oh my gosh, you can't wait. I can't wait to introduce you all to her, because she's really amazing with dementia work and Alzheimer's. And so she's going to be doing a training in our community on Sunday night, giving us some basic training on working with dementia patients. And so we have tons of different things that we post out that only our community gets access to.
And so Anna, when you said that measly fee is the way I look at it, $25 a month. If you break that down to the ridiculous, you're talking like what, $7 a week for this infinity amount of training and for being a part of community. Because if you join the community, the other thing is we have our discussion boards. If haven't taken IDLM classes, you still have those discussion boards where you can say, can somebody help me with? It's still a place to get assistance. We're a family and we help each other. And like I said earlier, the movement is our family hub, and there's so much there. So when you look at $25 a month, it's just, there are people that spend more than that on Starbucks. Or eating at McDonald's. And
what I want to say too is because we've had many people coming, many doulas coming in to our movement under our paid subscription. And then decide, you know what, I didn't get this part of doula training, and you know what, I want to come in and take your doula course after all. And then they get the movement for free after that, because now they've become, a core student. So, so that's another way too. If you want to come in, kind of get the fill out and get to know us as a community, you're welcome to do so. And then if you decide, hey, you know what, I want to go ahead and take that end of life doula course, or I want to jump into Pam's life planning doula specialist program, then you will get the movement for free. You just let us know. And then when we see that, we'll know, okay, we need to take you off subscription, and then you get transferred over to the free plan. Because like I said, the other thing is, because we give our students special discounts for everything. So if it's a big program coming out and they want to take, for instance, if have taken our end of life doula class, now they want to go and take Pam's life planning doula class, they get a special discount that nobody else gets.
Exactly. And it's the only way to get the discounts too, because we don't offer the discounts outside.
Right. So, so there's a lot of different perks, and, there's so much different things in trainings. And so I always tell everyone, really look at what you're getting. What would you say, Pam, would be some extra advice that you would give someone who might be looking into a doula program?
I would tell them to really look deeply at the program. Cost is always a factor. And I think that you really need to deep dive and see what the program is going to offer you, how much interaction you're going to get, how much information you're going to get. We give our students, whether it's the doula training or the advanced care plan training, whatever the training course is in the core classes, they're given everything they need in that class to move forward. And we, how do I say this politely? We are not branding ourselves to our students. We feel like we give our students and those in our community so much. They're proud to tell people that they went to the International Doula Life Movement, and they're proud to give us that credit. And when I say we're not branding ourselves to them, we give them all the paperwork, whether it's, their paperwork they need for just being a doula, or whether it's paperwork they're going to use for their advanced care planning. We help them establish their own businesses. We help them make sure they get their own logos, get their name out there, and build themselves in their community, where, International Doula Life Movement is a across the globe training. But in Marietta, Georgia, which is where I'm at, International Doula Life Movement may not mean a lot to people, but if they know that Pam has whole health advocate care and she graduated from International Doula Life Movement, and this is the training she got, now it takes a different stance. And the community is looking at you, because just like we talk about the movement being our neighborhood, your neighborhood is your community, and you want your community to know you. And I think it's so, so important. I think it's so important to see the depth of training, because the depth of training, I'll use myself as an example. I teach the advanced care program. In advanced care planning, there's a misconception that if you have the page 6 page, whatever your state gives as an advanced care document, or if you use a 5 wishes document, if you just have that document, you've done all your work. That's not true. There's so many other things that give that document support and strength, and that you need to include with that advanced care plan. And advanced care planning is making sure you've tied up all your loose ends. We're the insurance policy. People buy insurance policies every day of the week. They buy life, they buy health, they buy mortgage insurance. There's an insurance for everything. Got to have it on your car. I look at advanced care planning as your personal insurance policy. It goes hand in hand with your medical insurance policy. It is the policy that then gives information to your family that is so vital. And people don't understand how vital that end of life planning is until they're wringing their hands wanting to know, where's the checking account? Oh my gosh, we need a copy of a divorce decree. When were they divorced? Well, I don't remember. Well, who's going to go to the courthouse? There's so many things here that come to play when you put this package together that helps a family. You know, you want them to have all the information, so you want to have a plan. And just
Right.
saying, you know, I'm going to do an advanced care planning session, whatever you want to call it, and it's going to be on Saturday from 12 to 2. Okay, so what that tells me is you're going to talk about the document, and you're going to talk about where to sign, and you're going to talk about making sure you've got your states. You're not going to delve into, when somebody fills out an advanced care document, exactly what are they agreeing to? Because most people do not understand the depth of what they are agreeing or not agreeing to. And in advanced care planning, we teach our doulas to explain these packages in depth. And I've had people that took the advanced care planning that have taken it elsewhere that have said, oh my gosh, I thought I knew something. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I needed this. And the biggest compliment I've had is I have a student that's actively in class right now that lost a family member and said, Pam, thanks to what you taught us, I knew what to do. I didn't feel lost. I was able to help my family. So it's so important. So
it scares me, you know, when I see something like, if I see advanced care planning or an end of life doula class that's really just not as intensive or not, you know, like, for example, life planning, you know, we see little workshops, but, you know, we do almost 2.5 hours, 2 hours a night,
2.5 hours.
Once a week.
Over 16 weeks. That's the other thing. It's 16 weeks to 2.5 hours. Plus, you know, and something else we do, we meet with all our students. I personally meet with every student, go over because they're building their own book. So I go with every student through their book, answer all their questions, make sure they're getting everything done. And we abide by HIPAA laws. So I have to meet with my students in order to do this, because I'm not going to have them wire transfer that information that's delicate personal information. I don't care they're taking a class. That doesn't matter. I want them to get the information and do it for themselves. So the only way that I can ensure that everything's being done right. And that's, you know, I do limit my classes. Some classes are not limited. I hold my class limit to 20 students, because when I look at 20 students and I look at 16 weeks, and that's 2.5 hours a week, I also have to look at the fact that I'm looking at another 40 hours of student work. Meeting with every student. And so, you know, it's intense work, and it's so important. And and we do, I mean, 16 weeks. And in the beginning, I know I had a couple of people say, I can't believe this course is going to take 16 weeks. And now they're saying, I can't believe I'm going to get enough information. You're giving me so much. Are you sure you're going to be able to do it in 16 weeks? So, because like your class and other classes, we're giving them all their support material. We're giving them everything they need. And we're giving them reference on other documents that are similar to 5 Wishes to use as reference documents, so that they've got, they walk away with a wealth of information. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we want to make sure, you know, I even meet with students after graduation. We have a special booking tab. They can go and schedule one-on-one, because we want to make sure that every student starts in that right foot off, getting that start ahead. And so, you know, we're super excited. And, you know, like I said, we do have, you know, Pam's class is getting ready to start here in a few weeks. May 5th. And it'll be on Thursday nights. The last class was on Tuesdays. This one will be on Thursdays. I'm doing the fall planning. I'm not sure when I'm going to offer it then. Rather, I might keep a weeknight, or I may even go to a weekend. I've thought about that. So we'll see. Yeah. And then we have our end of life doula class starting May 14th, and it'll be the 14th, 15th, the 20th. I'm sorry, the 14th, 15th, the 21st, and the 22nd. We'll have a live class that is going to be 2 weekends long. And that's the last class before fall, right? Right. We won't have another one until August. So that will be our last class until August. And then we'll have an August offering. And
And so, of course, we'll have our Saturday and our Wednesday, because we always offer a Wednesday class and a Saturday class for our end of life doula program. So we try to make it a little bit more flexible for any students that are wanting to come into live. Because many students, say, oh, I want to come in live, but my work schedule and, things like that. So, they have the live, they have the self-paced option. And even if you come in live and you miss a class, we have it recorded. We upload it to your student portal. We don't take away your access to your student portal. You have access to it. And even after the class finishes, you'll still have access to it as well.
And, Anna, you talking about trying to make it accessible for anybody. You're probably going to want to reach through the screen and smack me when I say this, but you and I have a philosophy, and that is that we want to make ourselves available to our students. So our office hours are not what you would typically refer to as 9 to 5. Somebody, and I bring this up because we were in a meeting last week and somebody said something about office hours, and you and I both burst out laughing because our office hours are according to what our students need.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have talked to students in Australia. And so if you want to know what time I was on the phone with them at 9 in their time, you back that time up and it was like 2:30 or 3 o'clock my time in the morning, not in the afternoon. So, I mean, we work our time so that we are available. We're available to our students, and we want to always be available.
Yeah. So, because we have students in all different time zones and everything else. So, we definitely work our way out and around about, and even those that are potential students that have questions because they want to join a course, we will work with them as well. So we don't have, if there's something that's not listed available, and I'll put our booking link here as well. If there's a time that's not available and you need us, let us know, reach out to us so that we can, let you know, okay, yeah, we'll get it scheduled. So,
because we have the booking link now where students don't have to reach out by email. They just go right to our calendar and book their time. And we can make that time available to students that need it if there's a time not offered that they need.
Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, if it's something that's not available, shoot us an email or a text and let us know. And then we will work something out with you. It's not, we'll do what we can. Either I or Pam can meet with you and, answer any questions that you may have before signing up. Because I feel that it's really, really important that you do ask all your questions ahead of time before diving in. We offer weekly, almost every week we do a discovery. So there's different discoveries for all of our programs that you can attend to ask questions, get to meet the instructors ahead of time. So, we encourage you to look at that. You can go to our website at the very top, you'll see, and I also posted the link here in the comments for our discovery call to be a doula. So you can go in there and watch it. We've got some videos from graduates as well that share on there. So the first module is us telling and explaining about the program. And then this, the last module is different videos of our student graduates sharing their stories and their whys and their experience with IDLM as well. So a lot of different options. I do hope that everyone can join us coming up in May for our May intensive course that we're going to be offering. And the reason I say intensive is because it's over two weekends. It's over 2 weekends. It's Saturday and Sunday.
But Anna, people go and take courses all the time for weekend courses where they don't want to spread it out over a period of time, and they go do these weekend courses. There are many. I've done a lot of weekend courses myself where I'm online doing a course on Saturday and Sunday, and then I've got that week break, and then I'm back another Saturday and Sunday. And I actually took one where it was 4 weekends in a row. So, and that was a lot of work, but I would rather have done 4 weekends in a row than spread it out over that many months and weeks, because I could commit, knew I was getting it done, got it done, and didn't have to worry about the schedule. So,
yeah. I did have a question on the feed here, Pam, that I wanted to ask you, is about the book club. How will that work? Could you explain that one more time on how the book club works?
Yes, the book club, there will be, like this Friday, we're going to meet on the 22nd, and we're going to talk about the book, The Map of Memory Lane. If you haven't gotten the book by then, it really won't matter. That's your opportunity to then go in, and we'll have a link for you just to go, so you don't have to look for it, and you can buy the book. And we will have a month. And in this case, you can read a map of memory lane in about 30 minutes. But I am also going to be giving some extra information to people that attend on Friday night. But you'll have a month to read the book. If it's a book that might require longer to read, we'll still the following month have a meeting to discuss that book. And we will be doing live discussions, and we will be bringing in as many of the authors as possible. I actually have a couple of books that are pretty intense. And in doing those, we might spread that one book out over a couple of months. Because the benefit to the book club is, yes, I want it to be enjoyable reading, because who wants to read boring stuff? But I also want it to be reading that will enhance what we call our doula tool bag, our kit, that it will give them further information. It will expose them to things that we may not expose them to, and it will expose them to different viewpoints and history studies. And when I say history studies, I mean, like, one of the books that I want to do, and I've got it, this is my Bible. And I say my Bible because I took this as a course myself, Awake at the Bedside. And this particular book is on teachings on palliative care and end of life care. And it's so filled. I mean, it actually, I don't know if you can see, it actually has photographs throughout that explain what's going on, and interviews with different people, and ceremonies that can be used, and poems that are available. And I mean, it's just a wealth of information. I wouldn't expect anybody to do this book in a month. This book I will post in the book club when I'm ready to do it, and we will probably spend a month or 2 months looking at it. So it's not going to be your typical book club with your neighborhood friends that you join and have coffee and crumpets. It's a continued study. It's going to be a way to do some continued study, because I want it to be a learning as well as an interesting time period.
Awesome. Well, I want to take a minute, and I know we have a few viewers on right now, and ask anybody if they have any questions that we can answer for you. If not, send us some emojis so we can see you, because unfortunately it doesn't tell us who's popping on. So we would love to see the emojis. Sometimes I think it'll pop up and show us who they are, who you are. So feel free to, pop in and ask any questions. Just put it in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to, answer any questions you may have. I put a lot of links in the comments area so that everybody can go back and check out those links. There's a link to the community. Again, all students and graduates, please remember, yours is free. That special link is housed in our portal, our student portal. And under your welcome module, there is a special link that you have to use. Please use that link so you make sure that if you haven't already gotten into the community, that you do. And I really think everybody should be in the community, because then you get alerts free. They send you little, notifications that, that there's an event coming up. Let's see. I think we have a question. Hi, Shelley. Thank you for popping in.
Hey, Shelley.
Canada, my niche is support for people with disability. Absolutely. You know what? We need doulas out there to support others in so many different spectrums of areas. And we have lots of, multiple students that have disabilities that they are doing their services, whether it's teleservices or they still are going out and doing in-person visits. I mean, there is just so many different offering ways that you can tweak your offering to suit your needs. And so, I think it's really important too, when anyone has something going on in their life that they've been through, they can be such an inspiration to others during this time, whether it's pre-planning or at the end of life. They can have that person to have that connection with. So, yes, anybody can come in and join. We have quite a bit of Canadian students. We actually, so many Canadian students, we decided to develop a group just for our Canadian students that's housed again in our community,
right?
That all of our Canadian students can connect together and be able to discuss anything as well.
Anna, I have to throw this out because you're talking about Canadian students. The other thing is our classes are going to be available in Spanish. So that's another aspect that we're working on. I actually have somebody that's actively working with me that is going to be an instructor, who's been an instructor before, who actually has taken my class, who's doing advanced care planning, and she is going to be teaching this course in Spanish. So, we're trying to we're starting there. That doesn't mean we'll end there because there's a lot.
No, I mean, we're working on trying to get everything translated. It's going to take a little time, but everything translated over to Spanish. And that way, we'll be able to help anyone that needs the course in Spanish.
Yes.
And they will be live courses too, not just self-paced, but live courses.
And we also have people within the community that if someone is strictly Spanish speaking, or maybe they're bilingual, but they're not 100%, that they can get assistance. So that's not a reason, again, for someone to go, oh, I wished I could do this, but I don't know that I could. We can assist.
We want everyone to be supported and have, any type of support that they need. And we do have instructors from Canada as well. Let's see, somebody had asked a question. I thought I saw it. Let me see. I'm sorry, my thing is here delayed. Yes, there is a Canadian section. If you go into the movement and go to groups, you'll see we do have a Florida doula section. We do have our Canadian doula section. And you can just hit view group or follow in and it'll let you in. Yeah, we have a lot of family in Florida. So I'm really excited to start planning a trip to go to Florida so we can see all of our family over there, all of our doula family. So, and also too, right now with your membership, we are giving free access, like I was saying earlier, to our IDLM doula mentors. So, now is the time to get in and join,
absolutely.
Because you're getting so much free stuff for the next month. The rest of April going into May, you'll have free access into our business doula mentor program, as well as all of our CEs and all of that other good stuff. So,
and Anna, when they have access to the doula mentor program too, that means that they can schedule one-on-ones with us as well.
Yes.
So, and that's free for the month of June, of May through June.
So, and we've actually made a little change because you get 2 one-on-ones. So if you want to do one with me and one with Pam, there you go. You got, you got 2 options there. Hey, Shelly, no worries. I will get with you and see what I can do there for you. But we have other students from Canada in there, so I'm not too sure why it's giving you trouble, but I will get with you, Shelly, in a little bit, and we'll get you linked in there.
Absolutely.
So, well, I think it's already at the top of the hour, and so
please time go?
I know it goes by so quickly. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions, I did put our booking link in there as well. Let us know, and we are here for you to answer any questions. Don't forget, we have our May class starting in May. That's going to be 2 weekends. Pam has a Thursday May class that's going to be starting for Life Planning Doula Specialist program, both intensive courses. And when I say intensive, I mean, we dive deep with y'all about these topics and things. So we want to make sure everybody has a full range of support and everything that they need. So, ma'am, Miss Pam, is there anything else that we need to cover today before we let out?
No, it just seems like Mondays, this time slot just passes so fast. It's like, we start and then it's time to say, as Carol Burnett said, goodbye.
All right, everybody watching, thank you for joining us today and our conversation. And we look forward to visiting with y'all next week. We have a new topic next week, and I'm super excited for you to join in on that with us. So we will see you all next Monday. Have a fabulous day and week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.